Oh, yeah. There's gonna be a Picard season 3. And, they put a trailer out a while back. And then I promptly forgot about it. But since then, Robert Meyer Burnett said he's seen the shows. Now, I seem to recall him saying that they were kind of in raw form and that sort of thing. But I got to see it. And said he enjoyed it. Easily better than the first two. Well, that's, he says there's good moments in it, and he was stunned by how much it's Star Trek and that sort of thing. And tried to assuage people's concerns. There's the trailer, obviously done for humor, of the scene where Worf says he's become a pacifist, so everybody just rolled their eyes, and oh, for God's sakes. But the joke in it is Riker's line, and we're all going to die. And Burnett says, "Don't worry, Worf kills a lot of people." Meaning he fights bad guys in the story and all that. So that's what he touched upon from what I saw on his channel. And he was actually responding to Doomcock, who is, the desecration of Star Trek has burnt the ground pretty much to where there's nothing left. I mean, there's only ashes. And, hey, can you cobble something together out of that? Well, so it's understandable. The attitude is pretty much the attitude I had after sitting through those first 2 seasons, which, for all the bad that current Star Trek has been, the Picard thing was particularly poisonous, and that I've often called the Picard season 1 Last Jedi level devastation to the franchise. Because it's Patrick Stewart playing the role, it's not this alternate universe Picard or something like that. And the only way the STD and Strange New Worlds works is that you have to see it as an alternate timeline. Even though they claimed that no, this is a prequel to the original, it doesn't fit. They don't even try to make it fit. And I don't just mean the aesthetics of it and what the costumes and the ships look like, which is, ridiculous to go that far beyond it, but, it's what they did. The Klingons being completely changed. Stuff like that. But just narratively speaking, it doesn't even try to work. And that is what it is. But if you just remove it from that and then take it for what it is, still doesn't work. The shows often do not even respect their own continuity within the narratives they've established and stuff like that. It's just lazy slap job stuff. And so the Picard show was really no different. I mean, it rehashing stuff that the original series had already dealt with and dealt with it much better. And then the over laziness of, it's going to be a season-long arc and that sort of thing. And but that's just to get out of having to be creative and have new ideas for each episode. So Strange New Worlds, they say, hey, at least it's episodic. Well, it is. It is. But the shows weren't that good. And so Picard just had nothing. And the stupidity of it all, where Picard dies, but he lives on as an android, but it's not him, it's a recording of him, so he's dead, Then the second season of Q is, hey, Q, they're gonna have Q, he could fix it. He didn't. And what was the plot of that whole show? That Q was mad at Picard for not getting laid. That was the plot of the whole season. Yeah. So all of that, it's just how god-awful it was. Well, here comes season 3. Guess what? We're getting the band back together, just like you would have wanted. So this ass-backwards approach to it. Hey, could that be the recipe for success? Well, you've built yourself a ginormous Mount Everest hill to climb in the hopes that you can garner some kind of success. and salvage something of Trek. I don't think they can do it. It may be a good season. You know, certainly by comparison, that'll be easy. That's really easy. Of course, it's secret hideout, offshoot of Bad Robot, so if there's a way to fail, they'll find it. But that's not enough. You know, I mean, it's a similar situation with Star Wars. The franchise is so badly damaged that, you know, the Andor show I like it. I think it's pretty good. It's not Star Wars. That's a big problem for it. But if the franchise overall was healthy, it would have more success. There would be more people willing to give it a shot, you know, or to be interested in some experimental show that's a little off in a different part of the Star Wars world and that sort of thing. There's no appetite for that now because of the damage that they did, the self-inflicted wounds. So Star Trek, similar situation here. Yeah, it might be good, but this is sort of this, it's almost cruel to say, hey, you know what? This is what we could have done. Now, look, if the show does involve some episode that renders the first 2 seasons as non-existent, that might win them over. That's the one thing you could do, you know, even if it's not all that clever, which it wouldn't be. And then you're off to the races for this series. But there are problems I'm seeing in what they're doing. Is all the old villains are coming back, you know. That's not how Star Trek works. Now, lore returning, that I could concede. I could, you know, because we don't know what became of him. That was that. He never showed up again after this series was over. The films, I don't even think referenced him. They brought in B4, which was really stupid, and all that. And that was it. And so whatever became of him, you know, and what's he up to? Supposedly he was deactivated and all that, yeah, but we know better than that. So the idea that he could return, that's credible. Why is he allowing himself to appear old? Well, because they don't have the money for the CGI de-aging stuff. Even for Q, which looked really good, but they only had enough funds to do it for a brief moment where it's basically just, you know, a young picture of John Delancey, and then, you know, he snaps his fingers and he's old because, hey, I'm going to be as old as I would be if I was as human as Picard and all that. Okay, fine. But the reason is, can't afford it, because then look, they wanted Guinan in there, but they couldn't use Whoopi Goldberg because she's, you know, really old. And so they wanted her in the past, but they could have just CGI'd young Whoopi on another actor so she could do the voice and stuff. No, we don't have the money for that. So they just had the young actress be there who looked nothing like her. And then, of course, they forgot that they'd already met, you know, along with Mark Twain and all that. Remember that? Well, yeah, you probably remember it because you saw the show, but Secret Hideout didn't. Anyway, that's, you know, it was a crap season, so, you know. So that's the deal. Yeah, that's all. Can they come up with some reason as to why? Probably. But it probably won't be that good. Hopefully it'll be better than the reason old Whoopi that was briefly in Picard Season 2 just says, yeah, I'm letting myself look old just to fit in with everybody else. Well, so maybe that's what lore will do too. Or they'll just go, he did something that made him more human, and so he's aging rapidly or something. Maybe. I don't know how you would even do that. But, oh, well, what are you going to do? So, lore coming back and being a villain, okay, fine. But there also needs to be some attempt, at least, at more than attempt, of sci-fi concept, and that would make it more of a Trek show. So I don't know what the overall plot is, but this business of, hey, let's revisit Wrath of Khan stuff. Because this is the approach of people who don't know. And I'm sure what happened with Bad Robots is going, hey, who's the Darth Vader of Star Trek? And I guess Khan? Yeah, that was the most popular movie. Yeah. So let's just do that. Well, it's been done. And you saw what they did with it. Yeah, that was pretty much telling you what was to come. And, well, here we are. So that's, I don't know. Burnett says he liked it. You can't deny the man's love of Star Trek. So, we'll see. But even if it's good, even if I look at it and I think, you know what, I liked what they did, it's too late. And especially the cruelty of this ass backwards thing. Oh, okay, now that we screwed everything up, we're going to do the season we should have done from the get-go. And imagine if they had, and it just shows you, if they tried a little harder, you could get a fairly okay Star Trek show. And holy crap, you could have had 3 seasons of the return of Next Generation for one last ride, But no. Now, of course, in the meantime, the cast have revealed what nasty people they are. No, not all, but quite a few. One in particular most recently. Look, I'm a guy of dark humor. I've had offensive jokes and stuff like that, but my God, laughing about people who just froze to death. Well, that's pretty tough to get over. But boy, you really do have to separate the art from the artist. So yeah, that's where you are. So objectively, yeah, I'll look at it. But overall, for Star Trek, it's a Herculean effort to try to restore that thing. And whoever's involved with it now can't do it. It would be somebody completely removed from this. And completely removed for this weird current era we're in. That's bent on destroying franchises all over the place. And it's done. Very successful at that. Yeah. And then suddenly they notice the money's running out. Yeah. Could have told you. In fact, did. But, well. So, yeah, I'll look at it. But, again, could be a good run. But it doesn't matter. It's already dead.